Hey you guys, I don't really know how to start this video. I actually hadn't planned on making this video today. I had planned on making this video on Wednesday because Wednesday is my booktube anniversary. And so I thought, well, I don't know what I thought. I thought, well, maybe that's a good day to come back. I'm really nervous about making this video. In fact, much of my time has been consumed in even thinking about whether or not I should come back, or how it would be when I came back. But I decided, and I'll explain to you why in a little bit, I decided that this was the next thing for me to do. And so I've been talking a lot about it with my therapist, who I see twice a week. And, you know, I was so nervous about it. And then last night, while I was taking the dog outside, I had this kind of moment where I was like, in recovery, we talk a lot about perspective. And I was like, well, what if you just change the perspective of, this isn't how I wanted to start this video. I actually have scripted notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. But I was like, well, what if you change your perspective on this? You know, what if you look at this as like, wow, I get to come back, or there are enough people out there that are so overwhelmingly supportive of you that this should be, you know, a really meaningful moment for you. And so I went into my therapy session today with that attitude in mind, and I was talking to my therapist about it, and he said, just do the video today. The reality is I am ready to come back to YouTube, but I also knew that this video of me talking about what happened and where I've been, it needed to be made first. And I think in my wanting to be, it's so weird because I always I haven't made a video in 3 months, and almost 3 months. And it always just feels like I'm talking to like one person out there, and it really feels like that today. But I want to come back to YouTube, and I knew this video needed to be made, but I also wanted to talk about what had happened while also being sensitive. And so let me just get into this. And if I refer to my notes from time to time, that's just because I don't want to forget anything that I wanted to talk about on here. And these are just my feelings and related to the situation that happened, which I'm sure some of you know about and maybe some of you don't. I don't know. And I'm just going to be as honest as I possibly can about sharing these things. My plan for this video is to talk about what happened, where I've been since, and what my plan is on moving forward. I will say this, that out of the other people that were involved in the accident and their families, as well as the sensitivity of the nature of what happened, I'm going to keep those details brief. I think it's only fair to them. And I would also ask that whatever you comment or whatever you feel, be careful in realizing that there are people on the other side that are reading that, and or maybe reading that. And so, you know, in future videos, I hope to get back to much more of my normal tone, and I'll talk about that at the end of this video, because I know a lot of people have questions about, well, after everything he's gone through, how's he going to get back to flipping fans, and is he going to get back to flipping fans, or what's he going to do about review videos and those things. So I'll talk about that. But that doesn't by any means mean that this isn't something that I don't deal with or think about 24 hours a day, every day. So first of all, I just want to thank everybody out there. Like, I've received overwhelming amounts of support and love from you guys, and the amount of cards that I've received, and the amounts of direct messages. I haven't even been able to get to all of them. And so many people have reached out to me. And it's been overwhelming. And I think that where there were days that I didn't know how to move on or whether to move on, like I would take a stack of cards out on the front porch and I would read them, and they were so helpful to me. And there's one letter that's really stood out to me. And I'm not going to talk about the person or the details of the letter or the details of their circumstances, but they basically said something to me in their letter about how, and this was on one of my lowest days, and I'm not trying to garner any pity or anything like that. You know, there's so many more people that have gone through worse in this situation, much, much, much worse than I have. But this person wrote to me and said that there was a situation that they had been going through in their life, and that they had watched a video of mine, I think, and they had been thinking about taking their life, but they didn't. And I never really knew or realized that kind of impact that I had had on people. And so I thought, these are the people that I've enjoyed, you know, on the coming up on my BookTube anniversary. I didn't think I would be crying this much at the beginning. I really didn't. But you know, when I started BookTube 6 years ago, if you had asked me, like, what's the one thing that you have now that you, or as a result of it, that you never expected, I would have told you the connection that I have had with people. And just the overwhelming amount of love and support. I never imagined that that would be something. I just didn't think about it. I don't even know if I ever even thought what YouTube would be about. So I do want to say thank you to everybody out there, and you have no idea what it's meant to me. Okay, I want to get into kind of a little bit of the medical background. So in 1999, I was diagnosed with epilepsy and migraine disorder. I had a car accident, and it was a result of a seizure. I think I've talked about this in 3 or 4 videos. In fact, I had just done a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel in January because I had a updated EEG, which came back completely normal. And so I had been diagnosed with epilepsy in 1999, and had been approved to drive all of that time, had been found to be fine, and between 1999 and 2022, I never had a seizure. And it's almost kind of unheard of. I've been told since this that people go that long without having any seizure activity whatsoever. So I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was taking my medicine. I've even shown my medicine in videos. I've talked about my medicine. I've been pretty thorough and open about talking about being an epileptic. And one of the reasons I did that is because every time I do a video, somebody reaches out to me, at least one person, and says that they're embarrassed of being an epileptic. And so I wanted to normalize that for people, which is why I talk about being sober and being in recovery. And it's, you know, why I talk about my mom passing away and grief and things like that. And so on February 16th this year, I woke up. I felt great. Hadn't missed my medicine. Nothing had happened. And I had a seizure while I was driving. And I remember absolutely nothing. I don't remember the seizure. I don't remember anything from the accident. I'm gonna make sure I don't leave anything out from this point. The next thing that I remember, with the exception of a few brief incidences, is waking up and my husband standing to my left in the hospital. I was in ICU for the first 5 days. And then and then they moved me to a cardiac unit because that day, that 5th day, my heart rate dropped so low that they had to, I talked about this before, but they had to revive me twice while my best friend was standing in the room. And so they were very concerned about my heart. And so they moved me to a cardiac unit. I was in the hospital for a total of 7 days. When I woke up and I saw Alex, my husband, standing there, he was like holding my hand and he was shaking. And I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know where I was. I kind of had like a brief moment of where I knew that I must have known from people talking around me or something, but like where I knew that there had been a seizure. I didn't know if I was driving really. Didn't really know a whole lot. When I got to the hospital, they called it a breakthrough seizure. I had another seizure in the emergency room. And not that it matters, but I'll just tell you this now because I know people want to know. So the things that I came in with were and this is what the doctor wrote down for my husband, a left parietal bone fracture, a subarachnoid hemorrhage on my brain, a subdural hematoma. I had 5 scalp lacerations that they stapled. I had a L1 vertebral body fracture, a right 7th rib fracture, and I had a bruising on my lung. So when I woke up on the 5th day, like Alex was real emotional, and I looked at him and I said, "Well, what happened? I don't know what happened." And he was like, "Babe, there was a car accident." And I was like, "Was anybody hurt? Like, was anybody hurt?" And he wouldn't tell me. And he said, "We want you to meet with somebody. They're going to come here. They're going to talk to you," because he and my sponsor and my best friend had arranged for a caseworker to come in and be there. And I said, "No, you need to tell me. You need to tell me right now." And he said 2 people were injured and 1 person died. I don't really know what to say about it. Like, I don't feel like there's really anything that I can say that takes that away or for that family. I feel horrible. I feel absolutely horrible. And yeah, I'm sure that their pain is immense. And if I could do anything to take away that day, I would. On a pretty regular basis, friends and family and people will say, "God, you should be so grateful that you're alive, you could be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life," or whatever. And, my doctors are always like, "You missed, and this is just, it's crazy you're even alive." And I am grateful. I'm extremely grateful. But the flip side of that is that somebody lost their life. And I really struggle, even on a spiritual level with that. I would say maybe especially on a spiritual level with that. And so I found that out, and then they moved me to this cardio unit where I was at for the next 2 days. One of the big issues was that with the back pain, they had prescribed me pain medication. But as a person in recovery, I've always been taught that you can only take pain medication if it's you know, that your doctor is aware of your being in recovery as an addict in recovery, and that, you know, your sponsor and your spouse or friend or whoever is going to dole it out to you is very, you know, aware of all that. So Alex and my sponsor had to work very closely with the doctors, you know, with back pain. This has been a fear of mine before because I've had back pain. I was afraid of being on back pain medicine. They usually do long-term pain medication. They released me on pain medication, but only for like a week and a half. And then they wanted to move me to Tylenol. And I was in a lot of pain still at the week and a half, but I moved to Tylenol, and now my back hurts. It depends on the day. Some days it hurts 20%. Sometimes it hurts 80%. You know, they did not prescribe me to go to physical therapy. And we asked, and I'm part of a neurosurgery clinic, which is who prescribed me to be in a brace. They thought it would be for 6 months, and at like 2 months, they said I didn't have to be in a brace anymore. So because my back was improving, still hurts. My doctors want me to be walking several times a week. Part of the problem with that is that while I was in the hospital, they also found out that, well, first of all, my weight was a huge issue, and because I was so overweight, and they found out that I had really high blood pressure and also hypothyroidism. And so I'm now on medicine for high blood pressure, which they're trying to regulate because sometimes when I stand up too quickly, it drops. And so then I feel really lightheaded. And I'm on medicine for my thyroidism. And then they also are they recalculate it and are recalculating my seizure medication. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything before I move on. Before I get into like what happened and where I'm at now, I do want to say this, that I don't take lightly, obviously, at all, anything that has happened. I will say this because I know people want to know, and there's and I've received some people that have. First of all, there's nothing anybody can say to me that I don't think about myself on a daily basis, or you know, it doesn't go through my mind, and but a lot of people have asked questions about, you know, was it an accident? Was it this? And the accident was investigated extensively, and both criminally and civilly, and was found to be directly related to my medical emergency as found by the medical records. I don't really know how to say this because I know that there's going to be those people that have an issue with me moving forward and going back to life and, you know, making videos and stuff. And I grapple with this on a daily basis too. I really do. And the support has been overwhelming. I have received some comments from people that are harsh. And like I said, you're not saying anything to me that I don't think on a daily basis. I also don't know why in a situation like this, why anybody would think that I would want for this to happen, or I wouldn't go back and take it back tomorrow if I could. That we can't have sympathy for people. We can't hold two thoughts at the same time. It's like, you know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You know, it's like, and that's what the struggle has been for me, is really been in not knowing what to do. Like, what do people want from me? Like, and at some point, you know, it was like I got off from my therapy session today, and I was like, I'm just going to play some music, and whatever comes on, you know, God, please let me know what the answer should be. And it was Whitney Houston, Try It On My Own. And it's one of my favorite songs that inspires me. And I was just like, today's the day. Like, you just need to sit down and talk to the people that have supported you for so long, and, you know, and talk about it. So let me get back to this and make sure I'm not missing anything. Since getting discharged, I have just kind of been sitting here. The first month, I didn't interact with a lot of people. From time to time, if somebody called me, I would talk, but I didn't interact with a lot of people. And I just kind of sat on the front porch in the cold, and my neighbors checked in on me a lot, and it was really hard because Alex went back to work, and so I was here all day by myself, and you know, but I had to get back to functioning as a human being. I cannot drive for a minimum of a year. So, and I don't know that I'm even going to want to drive at that time. Like, I'm really scared, obviously. So we'll have to see where I'm at then. Like I said, when I got out, I rarely went anywhere unless it was for a doctor's appointment or to have imagery. I feel like I'm having imagery like every week, like CAT scans, MRIs, blood work done, things like that. I'm part of a neurological clinic for my back. Like they said, they released me from the back brace at about, it was about 2 months, I think. I've been going to my neurologist every 2 weeks, and about a month ago, they found out from a CAT scan that I have fluid on my brain. He wrote it down for me. On my right side, I have subdural hydroma, which is like fluid, I think. And on the left side, I have a subdural hematoma, which is like blood and fluid. They are monitoring it now through CAT scans that I'm getting every 2 weeks. But there's a possibility they may have to go in and remove it by putting holes in my scalp, which scares the hell out of me, honestly. But I'm staying hopeful that they won't have to do that. So there's that. People asked me what it was like on dealing with the pain medication. I guess I kind of addressed that already, but somebody on Twitter asked me about that, and I was only on a limited amount of pain medication. I was so scared of getting hooked on it that I made that very, very clear. Alex held on to it, and he and my sponsor and the doctor talked about how much I could have a day and how to wean me off of it and whatever. And I can remember taking the last one, and it was on a Sunday, and I was really scared. I was like, okay, I don't have any more pain medication, and I can't get any more, you know? I'm also seeing my primary care physician on a regular basis. I got a new one, and to monitor my blood pressure and my thyroid. But the pain medication wasn't that hard to get off of. And then I was just on Tylenol, and, you know, but I think I was really afraid of it. I had to be really honest with people and talk about my fear, and also, because it did. I mean, it took away the pain, and I truly now understand how people get so hooked on it, even when they're prescribed to it from a medical point of view. I totally understand it now, you know, like, and maybe you have to go through something where you're on pain medication to really understand somebody else's plight, but the fear of having total pain and being off pain medication versus, I mean, I understand it. I get it now. But as an addict, I was so terrified of getting hooked on it that I was like, plus I had, you know, people around me that were monitoring it. My recovery friends have been amazing to me, and I recently started going back to my home group, even though it's been difficult for me to sit for long periods of time because we have metal chairs. I also want to say my best friend, Tanya Jean, has been amazing through this. My cousin Caroline has taken me to every doctor's appointment with the exception of 2 that Alex had to be there for because he has to work, and so Caroline's been taking me to my appointments, which has been amazing, and we've got to spend time together. I've had so many people reach out to me that I never thought would, or I hadn't talked to in years. And it really made me appreciate, I think, just, I guess, just the fragile time that we have with people, you know. And speaking of which, I wanted to say that many of you know that our dog Tucker had heart disease like Pee-Pee did. But the last week of March, he started being really lethargic and sleeping for long periods of time. He couldn't stand up easily, and so we were taking him to the vet. It was interesting because at that point I was going out only to doctor's appointments, I think, and somebody on Twitter said something like, I think I saw, my friend Tanya sent it to me and said, I think I saw Peter at the vet today. And I was like, God, I can't go anywhere. Like I was at the vet, you know? And I mean, it was very nice. It was a very nice tweet. It wasn't anything bad, but we were having x-rays and blood work done because they didn't know what was going on with Tucker. And that was, I think, on a Thursday or Friday. They couldn't get the radiologist to read the report. And by Tuesday the following week was my first going back to my home group in recovery. And I was at the meeting and I got out of it, and Alex had texted me like several times. And so I called him, and he was just hysterical and wanting to take the dog to the emergency vet. And so like Tucker couldn't stand up at all. He hadn't eaten in 2 days. And so we took him to the emergency vet. They were so unbelievably kind and nice. And the vet, who was fantastic, she came in and she brought a syringe and she showed us that he had been internally bleeding, and she had done an ultrasound, and she said that he was full of blood and that most likely he would have to have surgery, and that there wouldn't be, it was not good, and it was so obvious that he was in so much pain. And little Boo Radley is looking at me right now. It was a hard night. It was just a really, really hard night because he wasn't really, like, with the heart disease, he was doing okay. Like, he wasn't coughing like Pee-Pee had. He wasn't doing anything. So we were completely unprepared for this. And yeah, it just was bad. And it was interesting because a friend of ours lost their dog, and like the vet had said it was like this extremely aggressive thing, and that like dogs like get like, it happens and then they're gone like in 3 days. And she told us, she said if you take him home, he could die overnight in pain. And so a friend of ours had it, and Alex had written down what it was called, and she said, oh, well, that's what so-and-so died from. And it was really aggressive, and Alex was like, what was it called? And she said, and it was the exact same thing that had happened. People want to know how Boo Radley is doing, so come here, Booby. You want to show everybody how you're doing? He said, I'm doing okay, Dad. I think he's real lonely. I don't think he gets it. We've talked about getting another dog, but he doesn't really get along well with other dogs that he hasn't been around, so I don't want to, He said, you're scaring me, Dad. I don't want to bring another dog in here and make his last parts of his life confusing or miserable. So, I think it's just going to be the three of us for a while. And he's going to stay real healthy. Real healthy. He goes outside and he never did this before Tucker passed away. He goes outside and he just barks and barks and barks and barks. It's the strangest thing. So, and so many of you were so nice with sending us stuff about Tucker and condolences and on and on and on and on. And actually, I want to say a special thank you. Hold on, give me just a second to pull up this email. I know I have it here somewhere. Hold on a second. I think it's Karen. So Karen sent us a blanket, which I have upstairs on the bed, and it's like 9 pictures of Tucker, and it's just fantastic. And I just want to say a special thank you to you, Karen, because that really meant so much to us. And it's been hard, you know, and the house is quiet without him, and Tucker was my little barker, you know. Boo barks outside now, but Tucker was my little barker. This is gonna stop in a second, so hold on. Okay, I'm not gonna make this much longer. So like I said, I started seeing a therapist a few weeks into my recovery. I've been seeing him twice a week since. He's greatly encouraged me to come back to YouTube and thinks that at some point, you know, he's like, he goes, people are going to have, some people are going to have issue or take issue with you coming back to YouTube, but he's like, what are you supposed to do? So your front porch and isolate for the rest of your life? He's like, it doesn't mean that you don't care about what happened. And it's absolutely the truth. It's like, you know, and so this is the decision that I've made. And he's been very supportive of that. He has stated that this is the life that I've been given now, and I have to make a decision whether I'm going to sit on the front porch all day or at some point get back to my life. You know, I have thought so long and hard about that day. You know, what if I hadn't run errands? What if I hadn't done this? What if I, you know, I felt great that day. You know, I had gone to bed early the night before, and it doesn't make sense. I've also been talking with my sponsor regularly. I've been reading 6 to 7 meditation books a day and heavily leaning on prayer and meditation. And I've started going back to my 12-step meetings again. I'm walking about 20 to 40 minutes several times a week and leaving the house about 2 times a week, which I'm trying to increase. So if you happen to see me out places, it's A, because it was approved, and B, because I need to start getting out of this house. I've been here for 3 months, and I don't think it's healthy for me. It's starting to become at a point where I'm isolating. I've also been talking to my sponsor regularly. I don't know if I said that. Did I say that? Yeah. I'm on blood pressure medication, thyroid medication, weight loss. I want to talk about my plan for going forward on all of my channels. Let's just talk about my drama channel first, because I know that's the one that people have the most questions about. I plan to go back and do drama the way that I was doing. I don't know what to say about that, and I'm sorry for the people that have issues with it. You know, I've read a lot of comments where people are like, how's he going to go back to flipping fans? How's he going to go back to that? I feel horrible about what happened. That doesn't mean that I can't entertain or I can't have an opinion about a YouTube person. And in all honesty, I haven't really kept up with the drama. I've watched bits and pieces of it. I know there's people have lots of questions about how I feel about this or how I feel about that, and I don't really know, because a lot of it I haven't really kept up with. And in all honesty, I haven't read a book since the accident. I can't focus. I've watched a lot of TV shows and movies because I can do that, you know, for an hour or two. But I have a real hard time. And this is, like I said, I'm not asking for any kind of sympathy or pity. It's like, I have a real hard time sitting for a long period of time, not spinning in my head. And that's one of the reasons why I am coming back to YouTube. And, you know, it's like, I am going to flip fans, and I am going to wear lip gloss, and I am going to talk on the drama phone. And that's healthy for me. And I hope it's healthy for other people too. I hope that other people are able to laugh, or, you know, like the messages that I've received for years and years and years from people that are like, I was going through a breakup, or I was at chemo, or this or that. You know, I want to continue to do that for those people that have enjoyed my videos as well. And I've enjoyed my videos. Obviously with my review channel, I can't drive, so that limits what I can do. I'm going to start buying things at the grocery store. My friend Melissa has agreed to take me to Crumble Cookies once a week. So I'm going to continue to do those, and I don't know what's going to happen with that channel. My Peter Does Stuff channel will probably be a channel where I talk a lot, as well as my vlog, about things I'm going through and what I'm thinking about. My BookTube channel will be when I get back, and the book clubs. Mel, my book club partner, has been so supportive of when we start again, we start again. And she has also been an amazing friend through all of this. There's been so many people that have been amazing. So many YouTubers that have checked in on a regular basis. And, you know, I just want to say thank you. So Sebastian Soto, I want to say, did a virtual get well card that was unbelievable. And I just cried my eyes out on a regular basis. Dustin Daly has checked in on me on a regular basis. So many people have, and I just want to say thank you. My BookTube channel will continue. It'll be when I start reading again. And my vlog is, I'm really missed, to be honest with you, the most. And the Vlogarinos, the group on Facebook, has been so supportive of me, so unbelievably supportive of me. Troy, who's one of the moderators over there, has literally posted a video of mine, a vlog of mine every single day over there, and encourage people to, you know, just be inspired and motivated on a daily basis. And I just think that's such, you know, that's you guys, not me. But I am excited to getting back to vlogging again. Of course, it'll be different. It'll be from my front porch, my back porch, my living room. I don't know how it'll be yet, but it'll take shape, it'll take form, and I'll figure it out. And I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to get back and start making videos again. I had planned on posting this video on Wednesday and then starting on Monday, regularly posting. But since I'm posting this video today, you know, I don't know that I'm going to take another week off. I may post some videos later in the week. I may not. But I will definitely be back by next Monday. And I'm excited about being back. And I've missed you guys so much. You have no idea. I never had any idea that something, years ago, I never had any idea that something that I couldn't even conceptualize, people that I would never meet, would end up meaning so much to me. And I want to say thank you, and I love you, and be kind to one another. Bye.